You ever get that feeling that you're just stuck with your English? Like you've hit this invisible wall. You're pretty good, but you know you're not great. Well, today we're going to take a sledgehammer to that wall. We're diving into 12 advanced grammar rules that are honestly the secret handshake that separates an intermediate speaker from someone who sounds truly fluent. So let's get into it. So let me ask you this. You can handle most conversations, right? You can watch movies, you can get by. But does it feel like something's missing? If you're not totally confident with the rules we're about to cover, you might not be at the level you think you are. But hey, don't worry, that's exactly what we're here to fix. So here's how we're going to break it all down. We've grouped these 12 rules into 3 big ideas. First, we'll get into the real engine of your fluency, verb logic. Then we'll look at the art of emphasis, which is all about making you sound more dynamic and interesting. And finally, we'll cover the little tricks that give your speech that natural, easy flow. Okay, let's start with the absolute foundation, the engine room. Getting your verbs right isn't just about not making mistakes, it's about being incredibly precise with what you mean. Honestly, these first few rules are the power source for everything else we're going to talk about.
All right, first up, stative verbs. The easiest way to think about these is they're being verbs, not doing verbs. They describe a state, like know or want. And here's the golden rule. You just don't use them in a continuous ing tense. For example, you would never say, "What are you meaning?" The correct advanced way is simply, "What do you mean?" It's such a small tweak, but it makes a world of difference.
Now this is a big one. The difference between present perfect and past simple really trips people up. The present perfect, I have lived, creates a bridge from the past all the way to right now. It means you still live there. But the past simple, I lived, builds a solid wall. That time is over, finished, done. Nailing this distinction is a massive sign that you've leveled up.
You know that feeling of looking back and thinking, ugh, I should have done that differently? Well, that's what past modals are for. And the formula is super simple. It's a 3-part recipe. Modal verb plus have plus the past participle. So, you should have called is the perfect way to talk about a past possibility or a regret. Ah, conditionals, everybody's favorite, right? These two are the trickiest. Just remember this. The second conditional is for an imaginary present, a different what if for right now. The third conditional, on the other hand, is for an impossible past. It's looking back at a door that's already closed. If you can get these two down, you are flying.
Okay, so the engine is running smoothly with our verb logic. Now it's time to add some style, some flair. This next set of tools is all about emphasis. It's how you grab your listener's attention and guide them to the most important part of what you're saying.
I know, cleft sentence sounds really technical and kind of scary, but trust me, the idea is so simple. You're basically just splitting a normal sentence in 2 to shine a big, bright spotlight on one piece of information. Think of it as your verbal highlighter pen.
And just look at the difference it makes. Greg helped me is fine, it's a fact. But when you say, "It was Greg who helped me with my English," boom, there's no question who the hero of this story is. You're instantly focusing all the attention on him. It's an incredibly powerful tool.
All right, next up is inversion. This is where you literally flip the sentence structure on its head to create some real drama. It can feel a little formal, maybe a bit literary, but wow, when you use it correctly, it really makes people sit up and pay attention.
So here's the secret sauce. I have never seen is okay, but never have I seen. That's pure drama. And here's the trick to getting it right. Notice how after never, the words flip to have I seen. It looks just like you're asking a question. If you can remember that little rule, you'll nail inversion every time.
Now, fronting is kind of like inversion's cool cousin. You're still moving something to the start of the sentence, but this time, it's less about drama and more about building suspense. You're setting the scene before you reveal the big surprise.
You can feel the difference, can't you? The standard sentence is fine, but when you start with "on the table," you create this little pause, this moment of anticipation. What was on the table? There was a huge cake. You're painting the background first, then putting the main object into the picture. It's a classic storyteller's trick.
All right, we've got the logic, we've got the drama. The last piece of this puzzle is the polish. These final rules are all about those subtle little things native speakers do without even thinking. This is what stops you from sounding like a textbook and helps you sound like a real person.
Oh, the tiny word, the. It causes so much confusion. So you probably know the basics. Know the for general things, but use the for specific things. But here's the advanced trick. It can change based on purpose. If someone is in hospital, they're a patient. They're there for the main purpose of a hospital. But if they're in the hospital, they're just in the building, maybe visiting a friend or fixing the air conditioning.
Okay, this next one is a total game changer for sounding natural. In casual speech, we often just drop words like who or that. Instead of saying the woman who I met, we just say the woman I met. It's faster, it's smoother, and it's what you'll hear people say all the time. Knowing when you can do this is key.
And that brings us perfectly to our next point, ellipsis. It's a fancy name, but it just means leaving out words that aren't necessary. You could say that native speakers are lazy in the most efficient way possible. We just don't like repeating ourselves if the meaning is already crystal clear.
And I absolutely love this quote from our source material because it sums up the whole philosophy perfectly. It's all about efficiency. Why waste your breath saying, he plays football better than I play football? Just say, he plays football better than I do. It's quicker, it sounds better, and it gets you to that cup of tea a whole lot faster.
So there you have it, 12 really powerful rules to help you smash through that fluency plateau. But listen, knowing this stuff is only half the battle. The real magic, the real progress, happens when you actually start putting it into practice.
So remember this simple framework. Think of it like building a car. You need the engine, that's your verb logic. You need the cool design and features, that's your emphasis and style. And you need that final shiny coat of paint, that's your natural flow. You need all three parts working together to really get your English moving.
So here is my challenge to you. Don't just move on and forget all this. Pick one thing, just one. Maybe you'll try to use a cleft sentence in a conversation, or you'll really focus on when to drop the word that. So, what's it going to be? Which one of these principles will you take out there and practice today?